The sky turned red on a Monday. No one knew why. At first, people thought it was just a strange sunset. But it wasn't. The red lights stayed even after the sun went down. Then the ground started to shake. Birds flew away in all directions. Dogs barked nonstop. Something was coming, something big. In the small town of Elridge, a 17-year-old boy named Cade stood outside his home, staring at the sky. His grandfather, old Tom, stood beside him, holding a cup of tea. The old man didn't speak, he just watched. "They're here," old Tom said softly. Cade turned to him. "Who's here?" Tom looked at his grandson. His eyes were full of sadness. "I prayed this day would never come." That night, the world changed forever. Giant black ships appeared in the sky, tall as mountains, wide as cities. They made no sound. They didn't fire weapons. They just hovered over major cities. New York, London, Tokyo, Karachi, Moscow, many more. The ships released silver orbs that floated through the streets. The orbs scanned everything: buildings, cars, people. Then came the message. Every screen, phone, and radio played the same deep voice. "We are the Zorak. Earth is now under our rule. You will serve, or you will vanish." People panicked. Some tried to run. Others prayed. Some even tried to fight, but nothing worked. The orbs sent out energy blasts. Tanks melted. Jets fell from the sky. Armies were crushed in less than 72 hours. Earth had lost. Zorak didn't want to destroy the planet. They wanted to use it. Humans were forced to work in factories and mines. The Zorak used them to build machines, harvest resources, and dig deep into the planet. If anyone refused, they were erased by the orbs. In Elridge, Cade and his grandfather were taken like everyone else. They were sent to a work camp in the forest. The camp was cold. The food was dry. The guards were machines silent, glowing drones that watched every move. Cade worked with other young people. They carried heavy metal boxes all day. At night, they slept on the ground one evening. Cade sat alone near a broken fence. His hands were cut and dirty. He looked up at the sky. The red light still glowed. He whispered, "Why us?" Old Tom sat beside him. He reached into his coat and pulled out a small metal key. "Take this," he said. Cade looked confused. "What is it?" "It's the key to my old cabin," Tom said. "There's something under it, something I never told anyone. It's time." "You knew? Why me?" Tom took a deep breath. "Because you're not just any boy, Cade. You're special. I couldn't tell you before. It was too dangerous. But now, we have no choice." Cade stared at the key. "What's under the cabin?" "A bunker," Tom said. "With answers?" Just then, a drone flew past them. They stayed quiet until it was gone. "Tomorrow," Tom whispered, "I'll create a distraction. You run." "No," Cade said. "I'm not leaving you." Tom smiled.
Yours is just beginning.
"And the world needs you now." Cade didn't sleep that night. His mind raced with questions. Why was he special? What was in the bunker? Who really were the Zorak? The next day, while the workers were being moved, old Tom faked a fall. He shouted in pain. A guard drone rushed. To him, as the camp focused on the scene, Cade slipped through the broken fence and ran. He didn't look back. The forest was dark. Branches scratched his arms, but he kept going. His legs burned. Yes. His heart pounded. Finally, after hours, he reached the old cabin. It was quiet. Dust covered the windows. Vines wrapped around the door. Cade unlocked it. The key clicked inside. The cabin was filled with old books, broken tools, and photos. One photo showed a young Tom wearing a strange metal suit with symbols that looked alien. Cade pulled the rug aside. Under it, a trapdoor. He opened it. A metal staircase led down into the dark. He took a deep breath and stepped inside. Lights flickered on. The air smelled like oil and metal. The walls were lined with machines, weapons, and screens. In the center of the room, a glowing helmet. A voice played from the wall. "If you're hearing this, it means they've returned. But this time Earth won't fall. Not if you're ready." Right. Cade stared at the helmet. It pulsed, like a heartbeat. His hand moved toward it. The world had been taken, but maybe, just maybe, was about to fight back. Cade stared at the glowing helmet. It sat on a steel table, wires running from it to the walls. The room buzzed softly like the machines were alive. He reached out and touched it. Warm, not hot, not cold, just live. The voice from the wall played again. This bunker was built in 1967, after first contact. If you're hearing this, Earth has fallen, but all hope is not lost. The Zorak failed to wipe our memory. They failed to wipe you. Cade stepped back. First contact. In 1967, he looked around. The room had old video screens, dusty chairs, and a tall control panel. He pressed a few buttons. One of the screens turned on. Black and white video began. A younger version of his grandfather stood beside a tall alien body on a metal table. Experiment log number 12. The Zorak scout ship crashed in Nevada. There's only one survivor. We kept it hidden. The tech is advanced, but familiar, like it came from us. Another screen showed files, DNA scans. One file had a name, Cade Thomas file, HYBRIDO1. His eyes widened. What is this? Why is my name here? He opened the file. It showed a baby, then a small child. Test results, brain activity, energy spikes. Notes written by scientists. Project. Hybrid. Success. If the child accepts both human and Zorak DNA. Memory locked. Powers sleeping. Cade dropped the tablet. His hands were shaking. He wasn't just human. He was made, changed. A living experiment. And his grandfather had known the whole time. He stayed in the bunker that night. He didn't sleep. He kept watching. Old videos. Learning. The Zorak had come to Earth long ago, but it was kept secret. Governments had hidden the truth. Some humans had fought back. Others had worked in secret to prepare for the next attack. Cade was one of their plans. A weapon. They made, but forgot. The next morning, he walked outside. The sun was hidden behind smoke. The red sky was still there. He felt different now, like something inside him had woken up. Suddenly a voice called out, "Drop the bag." Cade turned fast. A woman stood near the cabin, pointing a small gun at him. She wore a dusty cloak and metal goggles. Her boots were covered in mud. "I'm not here to steal," Cade said. "I saw the red light from the trees," the woman said. "This place has power. That's rare. What are you hiding?" Cade hesitated. "Who are you?" She stepped closer. "Name's Rhea. I used to work for them. The Zorak. Until I saw what they really were." "You were one of them?" Cade asked. "No," she said, "but I built tech for them. They use fear, control, lies, but I escaped." She lowered the gun. "You're not normal," she said. "I can feel it. Something's in your blood." Cade showed her the helmet. "Do you know what this is?" Rhea's eyes widened. She touched the helmet gently. They were trying to make a link. Way to fight the Zorak using their own tech. But it never worked. "It worked on me," Cade said. He told her everything. The bunker, the videos, the file with his name. Rhea listened carefully, and she said, "You're not just special. You're dangerous." To them, Cade looked confused. "What do you mean?" She leaned closer. "The Zorak tried to change humans once. They called it Project Echo. It failed, or so they thought. But you're living proof they were wrong." "They don't know about me," he said. "Not yet," Rhea answered, "but they will." Suddenly a strange sound filled the air. A high-pitched whine. Rhea looked up. "We need to move. Now." A black orb flew over the trees. It scanned the area, then turned toward them. "They followed me," Rhea said. "I led them here." The orb fired. Boom. The ground exploded behind them. Cade and Rhea ran into the woods. Trees shattered. Fire spread. Cade felt something pull inside him. His vision blurred. Time slowed. He stopped running. He turned and raised his hand. The orb charged another blast. Cade shouted. The orb shook, then sparked, then dropped to the ground, dead. Rhea turned around, shocked. What did you just do? I don't know, Cade said, breathing hard. I just felt it. I knew how it worked. Rhea looked at him like he was something new, something impossible. You're not a boy anymore, she said. You're a weapon, a living code. Cade stared at the smoking orb. He didn't ask to be special, but now the world needed him, and he had no choice but to fight. The forest was silent after the orb fell. Cade stared at the smoking wreck. It didn't explode like before. It just stopped, like it obeyed him, or feared him. Rhea walked slowly to the broken orb. She scanned it with a small device. This model was made to track leaders, she said, not workers. I didn't send it by accident. They're looking for me, Cade said. Rhea nodded, and they'll keep coming. Cade looked at his hand. How did I stop it? Rhea sighed. Your blood, your brain, even your voice. Something inside you connects to Zorak tech. Out. I don't know how deep it goes, but I know this. You're the only one I've seen who can do it. Cade felt fear, but also something else. Purpose the next day. They walked through the woods, staying low. Rhea knew a place an old train tunnel hidden in the mountains. It was safe. For now, inside the tunnel, there was a large metal door. Rhea knocked 4 times. A small slot opened. 2 eyes stared out. Then a voice said, You brought him. Rhea replied, He's the one. The door opened. Cade stepped into the dark. Inside, the space was huge. Old train cars were turned into rooms. Wires hung from the ceiling. People moved fast, fixing machines, carrying boxes, training with weapons. Humans. Real humans. A man walked forward. He had a metal arm and a large scar across his face. This is Captain Duran, Rhea said. The man looked at Cade. You're the hybrid, Duran said. You don't look like much. I didn't ask to be made, Cade replied. Duran grinned. Good answer. Pointed to the wall. On it, maps, photos, and moving red dots. We've been hiding, Darren said. But now, ... we fight. Over the next few days, Cade trained with the others. Rhea helped him control his powers. She gave him small machines to practice on. He could feel their energy here, their code-like voices in his head. He could turn them off with a thought, but it wasn't easy. Sometimes the machines resisted. Sometimes his body shook. Once he even passed out. You need focus, Rhea warned. If you lose control, the Zora can trace you. Cade pushed himself harder. He had to be ready. He learned how to fight, how to move without sound, how to hide from drones. But most of all, he learned something new. He wasn't alone. There were others like him. One night, Darren brought Cade to a locked room. Inside were 4 people, 2 boys and 2 girls. Each one had glowing marks on their arms. One could breathe. In toxic air, one could run faster than any human. One could hear Zorak signals from miles away. They were part of old programs, Duran said. We found them by accident. Hidden in Zorak labs, survivors of failed experiments. Cade stepped forward. We're not failures, he said. They looked at him, curious. You're like us? One girl asked. I don't know what I am, Cade said, but I want to fight. They nodded. The room was quiet, but something had. Changeda spark. A beginning. A week later, a scout returned with news. There's a mining station in Detroit, the scout said. Hundreds of workers, no guards, just drones, easy target. Darren stood and looked at the group. It's time, he said. We hit them. We send a message. Everyone cheered, but Rhea looked worried. The Zorak are never careless. She said if it looks easy, it's probably a trap. Darren didn't care. We can't wait forever. We fight now, or we die hiding. He looked at Cade. You coming? Cade nodded. Let's show them Earth isn't broken. They left that night 5 trucks. 30 people. One plan. When they reached the city ruins, everything was quiet. Too quiet. Cade could feel it something wrong in the air still. They moved in. They planted charges on the main power tower. Cade slipped into the control room and shut down the defense grid with a single thought. The explosion lit the sky. The camp was free. For a moment, they won, but then came the sound. A deep hum. From the sky, a large silver ship dropped fast. It wasn't a drone. It was a Zorak Wardena commander class. Its body was part metal, part alien flesh. Red lights pulsed through its arms. You dare. Rise, it shouted in a voice that echoed through the streets. Cade stood tall. Yes, he said. The warden charged. Cade raised his hand and fired. The Zorak warden charged like a beast of war. Its arms glowed red. Its legs smashed through old buildings. Metal parts spun and clicked like living machines. The creature was twice the size of a man and fast. Cade didn't move. His eyes locked on the warden. He raised his hand, and something deep inside him opened like a door. A strange heat rushed through his body. His skin burned, but he didn't stop. A wave of invisible energy blasted from him. The warden staggered. For a second, everyone froze. Then the warden screamed. It jumped forward and slammed its fists down. Cade rolled out of the way just in time. The street cracked. Dust flew into the air. Ron and the others opened fire with plasma rifles, but the warden's armor blocked the shots. Weapons are useless. Someone shouted, "Reya," yelled Cade. Use your link again. Cade stood, breathing hard. His heart pounded. The energy inside him was wild, now like fire. He closed his eyes and focused. He could hear the warden's systems, could feel its Cora heart made of dark code. He reached for it with his mind. The warden paused. Cade pushed harder. The creature roared and began to shake. And then Knit stopped. Frozen like a statue, everyone stared. Then Cade opened his eyes. Blood dripped from his nose, his legs gave out, he collapsed. When he woke up, he was inside a ruined building. Rhea sat beside him, holding a wet cloth to his forehead. You pushed too far, she said. I stopped it, Cade whispered. Yes, you did, but it nearly killed you. He sat up slowly. The others were outside, gathering tools and helping. The freed workers. The battle was over. Had won. But the cost was heavy. Duran stood near the warden's dead body, staring at the sky. Cade walked over. Duran didn't look at him. We lost 6 people. Good ones. Cade said. You did what no one else could, Duran said. But this war won't be won by one person. You may be strong, but you're still human. Cade nodded. I felt something, he said. In the warden, a signal. A voice. It wasn't just a machine. Darren turned to him. What kind of voice? It was female, Cade said. Cold.com. But, watching. Rhea walked over. It's the queen, she said. Cade looked confused. The Zorak have a queen? Rhea nodded. She controls the hive. The drones, the ships, even the wardens. She sees through them. Feels what they feel. So she saw me, Cade whispered. Yes, Rhea said. And now she knows you're real. That night, the camp celebrated the small victory. The workers were free. The resistance had their first major win, but Cade stayed apart, sitting. On a broken wall, he stared at his hands. The power still hummed in his skin. It felt like fire, but not just pain. It felt alive. He asked himself again, what am I? Rhea sat beside him. She handed him a metal bracelet. What's this? He asked. It's a limiter, she said. Will help control the energy inside you. Keep it steady. Am I dangerous? He asked. She nodded. Yes, but not to us, to them. Cade slipped on the bracelet. The heat inside him faded slightly. His heartbeat slowed. Rhea looked at him carefully. You need to know something else. The chip in your neck, the one your grandfather hid it, wasn't just for connection. Else, it's also a lock, she said. Your full power's there, still sealed. Cade stared at her. How do I unlock them? She looked toward the stars. You'll have to face the Queen. What week passed? The resistance moved to a deeper underground base. News of the battle spread. Across Earth, small human groups began rising, fighting back. Hope returned. But the Zorak didn't stay quiet. Their ships moved faster. Patrols doubled. They started burning cities that held rebel signs. Then one night, something strange happened. Cade had a dream. He stood in a white room, silent, empty. A tall figure walked toward him. A woman. Her skin was smooth metal. Her eyes glowed red. She didn't speak. She just stared. Then she said one word. Hybrid. Cade woke up screaming. Rhea ran to him. What did you see? Cade held his head. She was in my mind. Rhea's face turned pale. She's calling to you, she said. You're not just part of the plan, Cade. You're part of her. The wind was cold as the team moved through the ruins of what used to be Cleveland. Broken towers leaned sideways. Cars rusted in the streets. Thick fog covered everything. Cade walked quietly with Rhea Duran and a small squad of 10. Their mission: destroy a Zorak energy core. Rhea had discovered the location from old maps inside the Warden's systems. The core powered half the Zorak towers in North America. If they destroyed it, they could cripple the enemy's grip. This place was once a human power plant, Rhea whispered. They turned it into something else. Cade looked ahead. Through the fog, a giant black spire rose in the center of the city. Zorak machines crawled across it like ants. Red lights blinked. It pulsed like a beating heart. That's the core, she said. Cade could feel it already. The hum, the pull. It wasn't just a machine, it was alive. It's connected to the Queen. She would feel them coming. They split into teams. Darren led the strike force from the east. Rhea and Cade moved from the west, carrying the bomb. It was a small, silver box with glowing lines. This bomb was made from Zorak tech, Rhea said. It won't just explode. It'll break their link, like cutting a nerve. Cade nodded. They'll know who did it. Good, she said. At them. As they crept closer, drones floated above them. Cade stopped. I can feel them watching, he said. He raised his hand. The drones paused in midair. Then they dropped. No alarms. Nice trick, Rhea whispered. They entered the building. Quietly inside, the walls were pulsing with red veins of energy. Machines buzzed. Strange cables hung from the ceiling. They reached the center. A tall column of light rose through the room. Inside it spun a black cube, wrapped in energy rings. That's the core, Rhea said. We placed the bomb there. But just as they moved, the sound echoed through the room. A soft voice. Cold. Familiar. You again. Little hybrid. Cade froze. The voice wasn't in the room. It was in his mind. Rhea looked at him. Cade, what's wrong? Cade, she's here, he said. The Queen suddenly, the walls shifted. Metal bent. Ow. 4 Zorak guards dropped from above. Tall, silent, deadly. Darren's team burst in from the other side. Blasters fired. Smoke filled the air. Place the bomb, Rhea shouted. Cade ran to the core. The Queen spoke again, inside him. You are mine, Cade, built from my blood. You cannot run from what you are. Cade gritted his teeth. I'm not yours. You feel it, don't you? That burning inside, that's me. That's us. His hands trembled as he set the bomb. But the Queen kept speaking. If you destroy this core, you'll kill a piece of yourself. Cade screamed and slammed the bomb into the energy ring. Core sparked. A deep hum rose from the ground. Bomb set, shouted. Fall back. The team ran through the hallways as the building shook. Energy lines cracked. Smoke poured through vents behind them. The core exploded in silence, just light and heat and stillness. Outside, they dove for cover as the spire folded inward and collapsed. The shockwave hit. The lights in the sky blinked off. Zorak machines. Nearby stopped moving. They did it. They broke the core. Back at base, cheers filled the tunnels. Radios buzzed with news. Resistance cells across the planet heard what happened. Major Zorak network was gone. But Cade didn't feel like cheering. He sat alone in the dark. Rhea found him. She was in your head again, she said. He nodded. She doesn't want to. Kill me. She wants to control me. Rhea sat beside him. She knows you're powerful, she said. Too powerful to destroy, so she wants to bend you. I felt it, Rhea, he whispered. When the core exploded, I lost something. Like I heard a part of myself. Rhea placed a hand on his shoulder. That's not weakness, she said. That's proof you're still human. Later that night, Darren called a meeting. We've confirmed it, he said. Zorak towers across 5 zones have lost power. Their control is slipping. Everyone cheered, but Darren raised a hand. There's more. New intel from space. A large fleet has left the Queen's main ship. It's headed for Earth. They're coming to take back control. Rhea stood. She's scared. Cade looked around the room. No, he said. She's angry. The room went silent. Cade stepped forward. She knows who I am now. She's coming for me. For all of us. We can't keep running. He pointed at the map. We hit her again. Harder. Find her signal. Find her mind. Rhea stared at him. You want to strike the Queen herself? Cade nodded. She started this war. Let's finish it. Days passed after the core was destroyed. Zorak patrols slowed down. Towers went dark. Earth felt lighter. But Cade couldn't rest. The Queen's voice haunted his dreams. Every time he closed his eyes, she whispered to him, Come to me, Cade. See the truth. He kept hearing the same phrase over and over. The origin memory. He didn't know what it meant, but something told him it mattered. In the underground base, Rhea studied Zorak files recovered from the broken core. These aren't just power maps, she said. They're memory records? Memory? Cade asked. Yes, Rhea said. Zorak Tech stores history inside its network. Like a digital brain. One file was marked in red. Classified origin memory. Earth designation. 001. Rhea looked. Shocked? This doesn't make sense. Earth isn't just a planet the Zorak wanted. It's listed as designed. Designed by who? Darren asked. Rhea tapped the screen. By something older than the Zorak, a race called the Valari. They created seed worlds across the galaxy. Earth was one of them. Everyone went quiet, you mean? Earth was made on purpose, Cade asked. Rhea nodded. Yes, and humans weren't a mistake. We were built to fight. According to the file, the Valari believed in balance through conflict. It made humans as adaptive defenders, able to learn, grow, and evolve fast under pressure. Earth was filled with challenges, storms, animals, diseases. Wars so humans would become strong. The Zorak learned this too late. They tried to control Earth, but the planet itself pushed back. Cade stared at the screen. This is why they fear. Us. Why they want me. Rhea looked uneasy. There's more. The Queen found an ancient Velari archive hidden under Antarctica. She calls it the Source Mind. She's trying to merge with it. What happens if she does? Darren asked. She. Become more than just the Zorak Queen, Rhea said. She'll become unstoppable. Cade made a decision. I'm going there. Rhea grabbed his arm. It's suicide. The Source Mind is buried under ice and guarded by her strongest forces. She wants me there, Cade said. I can feel it. I think she wants to show me something. Darren shook his head. Walk into that place, you may not walk out. Cade looked at him. If I don't, none of us will. The team flew in a stolen Zorak dropship, hidden from radar. Rhea piloted. Cade sat in the back, staring at the frozen wasteland below as they neared Antarctica. Strange structures rose from the ice-black Zorak towers shaped like claws. This place feels wrong, Rhea whispered. I know, Cade said. It's like the air is watching us. The ship landed near a deep crack in the ice. They followed it into a cave where glowing lights lined the walls. Blurry symbols pulsed gently, like breathing in. The center stood a black throne, the queen. She didn't move. She didn't speak, not out loud. Only in Cade's mind. You've come. Good Rhea raised her gun. Don't, Cade said. She's not here to fight. The queen stood. She was tall and graceful, half metal, half light. Her face was calm, almost human. Her eyes glowed deep red. You are like me, she said. I'm nothing like you, Cade replied. Oh, she said softly. You were made. From my DNA. Your power is my gift. You hear the machines. You feel the signal. You are mine. No, he said. I'm human. She walked closer. Humans are weak, she said. You burn, you die, you fear. But you are the next. Step. She touched his forehead suddenly. Cade saw everything. Visions filled his mind. The Valari seeding Earth. The Zorak arriving centuries later. The first war kept secret. His grandfather helping build the first hybrid programs, and then a memory not his own. The queen before she became what she is. A Valari child, left behind, changed by war. You were one of them, Cade whispered. Yes, she said, but I evolved, became what they feared most. Tears fell from Cade's eyes. You're not a leader, you're broken. Her voice shook now. I didn't choose this. I survived. Rhea stepped forward. This is her secret. She's not just controlling the Zorak. She is the Zorak. She's their mind. Cade looked at the throne. Inside it glowed a strange blue light. The source mind, said. The queen stood back. You can take it, she said, but you must accept who you are. You can't save Earth and stay human. Ka-da-da-da. Light, his body shook. The fire inside him grew stronger. He reached out. Cade's hand hovered over the glowing source mind. Blue light danced across his fingers. It felt warm, but also heavy. It's like holding 1,000 voices at once, ancient, alive. Watching him behind him, Rhea shouted, Cade! But it was. Too late, he touched it. His body froze. Time stopped. Suddenly, he wasn't in the ice cave anymore. He stood in a field of stars. Silver figure appeared, tall, glowing like a sun. You have touched the Valari core, the voice said. You. Seek answers. Who are you? Cade asked. We are the ones who made Earth. We are the Valari. And you are the last key. Cade felt his body vibrating. He could see through machines, sense life signals, even feel gravity bending. What am I becoming? He asked. Balance, the voice said. You are the bridge between order and chaos, Zorak and human. You must choose. Destroy the queen. Or join her, no, Cade said. I'll do something else. He raised his hands. Energy exploded around him. Back in the cave, Cade's eyes opened. They glowed bright blue. The queen stepped back. She looked shocked. You touched the core and survived. Yes. I saw the truth, Cade said. You didn't evolve. You got lost. You became fear. I won't follow you. He turned. Rhea stared at him. Cade, your face. His skin glowed. In small patches, his heartbeat echoed through the walls. He smiled weakly. I'm still me. Just upgraded. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the cave. The queen turned. They've found us. Dozens of Zorak ships descended through the clouds. But they weren't alone. Hundreds of human. A craft followed. Resistance fighters from every continent had answered the call. The final war had begun. Back at base, Darren's voice rang through. Every radio. This is Earth Resistance Command. We are launching full assault. All cells, all zones. This is it. Take back your cities. From London to Lagos, from Rio to Cairo, humans rose. People who once hid were now fighting, young and old. Scientists and farmers, soldiers and students. Earth was no longer afraid. They were the storm. In Antarctica, Cade and Rhea ran toward their ship. The Queen didn't follow. She simply whispered into Cade's mind, "You can't kill me. I am part." "Of you?" Cade whispered back. "Then I'll tear that part out." The battle in the skies was chaos. Zorok ships fired red beams. Resistance jets dodged and returned fire. Cade climbed into the gunner's seat of the stolen dropship.
Why flew we?
"Need to get to orbit," she said. "That's where her main ship is. If we destroy it, she falls." Cade nodded. "Let's finish this." They broke into the upper atmosphere above Earth. The Queen's mothership waited. It was massive, half the size of the moon, shaped like a silver claw. "Are we really doing this?" Rhea asked. Cade smiled. Too late to run. They dodged. Enemy fire, weaving through debris. Then Cade reached out with his mind. Resistance command. "This is Cade. Focus all ships on the mothership's central spine. It's her core." "Copy that," said Darren's voice. All units hit that mark. Human fighters formed a swarm. Like birds, they attacked the Queen's ship from all sides. Inside the mothership, the Queen screamed. Cade could feel her pain. "Why do you fight your own nature?" she asked him. "'Cause I'm human," he said, "and we don't kneel." Raised both hands. Lightning burst from his fingers. Blue, alive. Beautiful. It tore through Zorok's ships like paper. Rhea watched, stunned. "You're not even using weapons." Cade smiled. "I don't need them anymore." The mothership cracked. A massive explosion lit up the sky. The Queen's voice rang out one last time. "If I fall, you fall with me." But Cade was ready. He reached inside her mind and closed the door. The explosion rocked space. Then, silence. The mothership was gone, and the sky was clear. On Earth, people watched from rooftops, beaches, mountains. Zorak drones dropped lifeless from the sky. Children ran into the streets laughing. Mothers cried. Old men raised flags from the past. Earth was free. Later, Cade stood on a tall cliff. Looking down at the burning horizon, Rhea joined him. "She's gone," Rhea said. "But I know she left something behind." "I know," Cade said. "There will be more battles, but this one, we won." "What now?" Cade looked at his glowing hands. "I help rebuild. I help protect. I help remind the galaxy." He turned. That Earth was never weak. We were only sleeping. 6 months later, the skies above Earth were blue again. The red glow from the Zorak ships was gone. Their towers had fallen. Their machines were silent. What was once a battlefield had become a rebuilding ground. But the world was not the same. It was stronger, wiser, united, and it had a new protector. Cade stood on a rooftop in what used to be Washington. DC, half the buildings were still broken, but life had returned. Children played. In the streets, markets were open. People were smiling again. He looked down at his hands. The blue glow was now faint. He wore gloves to hide it, but some still stared when they saw him. They didn't stare in fear. They stared in respect. Rhea joined him, carrying a small device. They finished scanning the last Zorok data crystal. She said, "You want to hear the results?" "Let me guess," Cade said. "There are more out there." Rhea nodded. "Far away. Other systems. Other hives. But they're quiet. Like they're waiting." "They're not ready to fight again yet," Cade said. "But when they do, we will be," Rhea smiled. "You sure you're ready to be a symbol?" "I never asked to be one," Cade said. "But yeah, I'm ready." Later that day, leaders from across the world met in the new Global Assembly. Used to be the UN, the building had a new name, the Earth Corps. Not a government, a promise. Inside, Cade stood before the crowd. Cameras floated around him. People from every country watched. He spoke simply. "They came to break us. They failed. They thought we would bow. They thought we would forget who we are. But Earth is not weak. Earth is not silent. We fought. We bled. We rose. And now they answer to us." The room erupted in cheers for the first time in history. Earth had one voice. and that voice spoke with strength. Later that night, Cade walked through the halls alone. He found a quiet room with a view of the stars. He sat down. He opened a small box he had carried since the bunker. Inside, the helmet from the day it all began. He placed it on the table and whispered, "Thank you, grandfather." Behind him, Raya leaned against the door. "He'd be proud," she said. "I hope so," Cade replied. Outside Earth's orbit, deep in space, small ships drifted watching. Alien eyes scanned Earth's surface. They saw ruins, but they also saw power. One of them turned and said in a strange voice, "This world is not what we thought." "No," the other replied. "This world is ready." The ships vanished into the dark, but their message would spread across the stars. Back on. Earth's resistance bases had become training centers. New protectors were rising humans with gifts like Cade. Some strong, some fast. Some able to speak to machines. They were called the Echo Guard, and Cade led them, not as a king, not as a god, but as a symbol. One morning, Rhea asked, "Do you think peace will last?" Cade looked up at the sky. "No, not forever," he said. "But that's okay." "Why?" He smiled. "Because now we're not just surviving. We're ready." She nodded. Double quotes, "and if someone comes again." Cade turned to her. "Then they'll learn the same lesson the Zorak did." He raised his hand, power hummed through the air, and he spoke one last time. "Earth kneels to no one." The end.